I have a background in education and training. My original university degree was in agricultural science, but I saw opportunities in education and training, and I've always had a passion for education. I went to Fiji for 3 years as a high school teacher, then as a university tutor, and then I worked in the UK as a IT training manager for about 8 years. We then come back with a young family to Australia from the UK, and I started off one IT project role there, thought it was just the same as the UK and didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So I wanted to get into full-time trading to see if I could make a go of it, but I didn't want to give up all the experience and education I had in training. And I thought I'd start up a training company specifically aimed at options education, because I thought that was a niche field with a complexity about it to make it interesting. There's a lot of textbooks on options, the basics, the fundamental, the models used, whether it's binomial or the Black Scholes or a variation of it. So theoretically, there's a lot of information about options that I could use and glean from and develop my own course. Where I struggled was to see how I could go from the theory of options to the practical aspects of it. There didn't seem to be a streamlined way to go from the theory to the practice. There seemed to be a bit of a block between the two. When I first started full-time training, I thought that I needed to upskill my technical analysis skills. So I started off doing a technical analysis course through IFTA. And so I had things like a trend, I had things like support and resistance in my mind. And I had a good friend of mine who was an options broker on the Gold Coast in Australia, and he was teaching me options. And one day we were talking about covered calls, and he said to me, you put the strike price above the resistance level. And he was showing me a traditional payoff diagram, and I said, where's the resistance level? Because it didn't dawn upon me that that payoff diagram was actually referring to the underlying share price or the historical price chart. The two didn't actually click in my mind. So then right in front of him, I redrew the payoff diagram over the top of the historical price chart, and that led to the birth of the rotor payoff diagram. So it was initially designed as an education tool. I can explain every concept of options from a theoretical point of view from the one historical price chart, relating all of the information back to the underlying price action. What I need to do now is to go the next step forward, which is to have it integrated into a live trading system. So instead of using theoretical data or data which has been punched in by the user, it then draws the live information directly from the trading system. I'm looking for a partnership. I'm looking for someone who sees the value and the merit in what I've developed and wants to take me on board as a partner to help me to develop it into their system. I'd like to keep some skin in the game. I've spent about almost 9 years developing it from scratch. It's my baby. It's what I've had a passion for. I know it back to front, and I don't want to take the money and run. This is basically my project for the rest of my life, my working life. So I'm not here just to flip it off and go on to the next thing. This is what I've got a passion for. I don't think I'll ever create something similar to this.